So I just want to have a real quick conversation. When you're dealing with clients, when you have potential clients, make sure the most important thing is to get those clients on the telephone. If you have clients that you're dealing with, someone that you're talking with, you're trying to negotiate, and it's a client that you haven't talked to before, be sure to get that client on the phone. Do not try to close deals through text message. Do not give quotes through text message as well. If a client really wants to hire you, they'll understand the business aspect of what you're trying to do. If you have a potential client that is trying to lock you down on price at the last minute, and they do not want to talk to you on the phone, like you can't get them on the phone to have a real conversation, just don't even think about it. Just send them something and be done with it. Don't ever try to handle business through text message. Don't ever try to just give a client a price without getting details. That's how you get stuck. For those who haven't been in the business very long, if you just quote somebody a price, it can potentially backfire on you. It doesn't have to be. It's not guaranteed, but it does have the potential to backfire on you. I've definitely done that early in my career, quoted somebody a price based on something that I've done before in the past. And when it's time to start, to deliver on what it is that you've been hired to do, there's other factors that are involved that they may not have thought about. And there are things that the client doesn't think about that they think doesn't matter, but to you, it does matter. Um, like if you have to, I had a shoot that I did about 2 or 3 years ago, and I asked the client up front about parking. Where is parking, for this particular shoot? I want to go and scout the location. The location was not open during the weekend. The guy contacted me, I think may have been like on a Thursday or Friday for something that they wanted on the following week. And they said that it was downtown Atlanta. So they said that it would be parking in the same building. Okay, fine. I get there the day of the shoot. There is no parking in that building. There's other events going on. I had to park about 4 blocks away. And for those in video production, when you have to load up a cart and you got to push that cart for 4 or 5 blocks, like it's not easy. First, it's hard just getting out of the parking deck. Cart Most carts are not going to fit into a parking deck elevator. Parking deck elevators are really small. They're about big enough for maybe 3 or 4 people. So that's the first issue. You got to go around the maze to get out the parking deck. Once you get out the parking deck, then you have to, you're walking, you're crossing through, crossing intersections, you're walking through traffic, you're walking through a bunch of people. Like the sidewalks aren't completely flat. Sometimes they're slanted because you're passing by other parking decks, other places that people are pulling into in a downtown area. So there's a slope. So if you ever try to push a cart that has 4 articulating wheels on a slant, it's fighting you. It's trying to run into the street. So and I asked a lot of questions before I got there. And then even when I got there that day and I got there to the shoot with all this equipment, then I had to wait downstairs and I had to be taken up through some area with like VIP badges, and I had to get into the elevator, and there's an event going on this day. So it's a buying event. So there's tons of people up and down the elevators all day. And so now I'm feeling crazy because I have all this equipment in the elevator taking up room. And so you're waiting for 3 and 4 elevators. You finally get up there to the client, and they had like the way the store was set up, like it was a bunch of like figurines and things like that. So if I bumped something, I feel like I gotta pay for it. And so it was a really tight squeeze. There's nowhere to really put my equipment. So now I have this big cart in the break room, and I'm constantly having to go back and check. Like the break room is about the size of a decent sized bathroom. It's really small. And so wherever the cart is, I'm in the way of people getting to the microwave, the refrigerator, the sink. And then I had like 90% too much equipment. And I guess the questions that I asked, I didn't ask them thorough enough. And so what I needed for that shoot, I had like way more than what I needed. So what I had planned, the way I had planned to set up the shoot is not how I ended up being able to do it. And so it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. There were customers in the store. They didn't want any customers in the background, but there were buyers walking all around the store. It was a horrible situation. So ask questions up front, get all of your information. Never let anybody close you through a text message. Never let anybody try to book you through a text message. And definitely do not give anybody price over text message. If they can't even give you the courtesy of a phone call, just don't even worry about it. Just let it go.